Now from the Weather Tracker TV Storm Studios, this is your weather today. Here's Chief Meteorologist William Cole.
All right, folks, here we go right out of the gate on this Thursday. And I tell you what, it was a cold start to the morning, as you probably know by now. In fact, our actual morning lows here, a lot of us in the upper 20s, lower to mid 30s here in the Metroplex, hovering just above freezing. 34 officially was that morning low at DFW. So cold this morning, but as we go through this afternoon, I've got a pretty decent warm up on the way. In fact, with a lot of bright sunshine this afternoon, highs will be moderating through the 50s into the lower 60s. In fact, I think we get to right around 62 here in the Metroplex. But as is so typical for this time of year, weather changes are on the way, and it's on the way in the form of a fairly decent cold front arriving this evening and tonight, coming in maybe a little bit colder than initially thought, and it appears as though it's even now accelerating towards North Texas. We're going to talk about that, the all-important weekend forecast, and when is that next opportunity of rain, and how much rain could we see? Again, those details coming up over the next few minutes. But the other thing I'm tracking carefully and have been tracking carefully as we've gone through the morning, look at the surface analysis here. You're seeing areas of yellow. That would be fog. In this situation, it's been patchy fog, not necessarily dense fog, right? So dense fog is when you really lose visibility. Patchy fog typically is not that big of a deal, but it was a big deal this morning. And the main reason why, a lot of locations were at or below freezing. So freezing fog has been a concern. The fog is now beginning to lift here at mid-morning, but I tell you what, we had a couple counties up along the Red River Valley, Montague, Cook, and even Grayson County, where we did have a freezing fog advisory in effect this morning. Again, a couple slick spots were even possible. Again, temperatures now moderating, and like I mentioned, that fog is now lifting as we're heading deeper into the morning. So the storm system from yesterday, that again brought us all the active weather, the heavy rain in the morning, and just kind of an unsettled day, if you will. Take a look at how far it made it overnight off to the northeast. In fact, it's now spinning up across parts of the Midwest, pushing into the Northeast. That will be a major weather player for the folks up there, continuing to cause active weather. In fact, today it's going to be causing some severe weather. But hidden in between all of this that you're seeing, all these weather pieces of the puzzle here on the water vapor imagery, take a look at this very small dip. It's almost hard to see. That is actually our next weather maker. This just came out of Canada, so it does have some chillier air with it. That will be inbound for later today and tonight with the front. And again, you can see there it is. We turn, we'll just call it sharply chillier as we get into tonight, into tomorrow, Friday. Again, brisk northerly winds, cloudy, temperatures tomorrow only in the 40s, wind chill factors in the 30s. But it's a one-day deal, because look at this. On the heels of that weather maker, we've got a big ridge arriving just in time for the weekend. Saturday morning is going to be cold, most of us below freezing, but as we go through the weekend, daytime highs generally in the 50s. But then on the heels of that ridge, look over my shoulder, we've got a fairly decent weather maker. You can see the donut hole right over Southern California. That's going to be in slow-mo mode. It's going to really take its time coming out of Southern California, but it will be arriving late Monday into Tuesday, and that's going to be our next opportunity of rain. Right now, Tuesday may just be a washout, and there may even be opportunities of some locally heavy rain around the area. So we're generally sunny today. Clouds spill in tonight with the front, but here's the other small, minute detail that is also important that I'm tracking carefully. There may be an opportunity of a couple isolated showers near and just behind the front. This would be at sunrise tomorrow morning. Right now, I've only got it at about a 10% opportunity. The only reason it's worth mentioning is up along the Red River Valley. If we do happen to have a shower up there, it's not impossible. We maybe have a couple snowflakes, maybe a couple sleet pellets. No accumulation anticipated, but again, it's all just kind of within the realm of possibilities. But keep in mind the probability is still really low, less than 20%. Again, generally cloudy, chillier, and again, brisk as we go through tomorrow. We clear the skies as we get into Friday night, sets us up for a pretty cold Saturday morning before we do rebound things heading through the weekend. So here's the opportunity of rain. Like I mentioned, that will build in again for early next week around the Tuesday timeframe. A lot of locations picking up nearly an inch or just a little bit more. Bright sunshine, temperatures in the 60s today. Again, as the front begins to arrive this evening, winds switch around to the northwest, but temperatures still in the 40s for any kind of evening plans. We're cold overnight behind the front, and then as we go through tomorrow with that brisk northerly wind in place, simply put, temperatures don't move through the 40s. And again, a couple isolated showers at sunrise tomorrow morning, not impossible. That would be that 10% opportunity. Better weather for the weekend than that next rain opportunity early next week.